So the other day, the Republican leaders proposed a new agenda. This is what they're running on in the midterm elections. And they called it the Commitment to America. And it's basically like fortune cookie-ass slogans that they wrote down, and they pretend like these things are substantive and really meaningful. And apparently it was such a dud that even Fox hosts are like, you guys are a little light on the specifics, aren't you? So let's go ahead and look at the back and forth that they have here.
Magazine, it says the document has lots of bells and whistles and factoids about the hellish reign of Joe Biden and his Democrat Party. What it doesn't have is a whole lot of specificity. You heard that from the president, from other Democrats too, who say there are a lot of slogans. Yes, everybody wants a safe country. They want good education. They want crime to go down. But
it's stuff like, we are against crime. We are in favor of a strong economy. Bro, what are you actually proposing in terms of specific policies? Joe Biden is really bad. We are pro-safety. They are not pro-safety. Like, come on, man.
It's the details of how you do that matter. So why not more details in this plan?
A Fox News host asking a Republican official, why aren't there, like, details in your plan, bro? You're not even saying anything with these things that you have listed.
Shannon, there are ample details. So number one, an economy that's...
No, there are not. There are none.
Strong. The first focus on economic issues is we need to rein in inflation. We start by doing that by reining in the reckless trillions of dollars of spending that we have...
Okay. So we got one specific here. Rein in the reckless trillions of dollars of spending. Well, hold on now. Hold on. Many economists and experts say it is not the big spending leading to inflation. Is it a part of it? Sure. But a bigger part of it is the supply chain. A bigger part of it, in fact 60% according to Matt Stoller, is corporate profits and monopolies. They're price gouging in this moment. And literally, we've had Business Insider and other outlets cover the fact that a lot of these corporations, what they do is they took the inflation mania that the media was pumping out there, and they used that to turn around and jack up prices for things that weren't even affected by inflation. And said, oh, what are we going to do? It's inflation. What are we going to do? Again, 60% corporate profits. So if you're not going to deal with corporate profits, you're not going to deal with monopolies, you're not going to deal with the supply chain, guess what? You're not really going to address the core of inflation. So, but their answer is cut government spending. Yeah, I know. This is your answer to, like, everything. It's cut taxes for the rich, deregulate, and cut government spending. Well, when you cut government spending, you are cutting also social services for the people. They're not going to like that. Now, by the way, remember, these Republicans were in favor of all the government spending in the world to prop up big business when COVID hit. You know, the CARES Act massively helped big business. That's who they're in favor of helping. But now, cut government spending. Anything that's nominally going to help the people, cut government spending. So that's the solution. That's not specific. You're not telling me exactly what you're going to cut, which, by the way, if you did, nobody would support the things you want to cut. Because Rick Scott admitted with your last agenda, he effectively wants to privatize Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Government programs that are wildly popular.
Seen under Joe Biden and unified Democrat far-left government. Number two, lower the price of energy. I hear that from my constituents in upstate New York, whether it's home heating bills or the price of gas. We have multiple bills that have already been introduced that Democrats refuse to bring up when it comes to lowering those energy costs.
That's rich. Because Republicans were against an anti-price gouging bill. Republicans opposed an anti-price gouging bill. So you guys are the ones who have blocked progress on that front. And by the way, what do you mean lower energy prices? How? How are you going to lower energy prices? I'll tell you what their answer is. Let's do more oil and gas extraction here at home, and then they say that'll lower prices here domestically. But that's not true. Like, they support the Keystone XL pipeline. That was owned by private interests, and they were going to export all of the oil and gas. So if you really want to lower energy prices, we know how to do it. Nationalize the oil industry. And then you get to prioritize how you want to spend this stuff, and you could prioritize spending it domestically, instead of us being reliant on Saudi Arabia, for example, for oil and gas. But they don't want to nationalize it, because that's, big, bad, scary socialism. So there is a solution to what she's talking about, but it's literally the polar opposite of her ideological perspective.
When it comes to supporting our law enforcement and having a nation that's safe, we have legislation that will immediately provide funding through recruitment and retention bonuses to hire an additional 200,000 police officers across this country. When it comes to freedoms, a future...
Okay. I love the point on police officers because you know what Biden's plan is? Biden hired 100,000 cops or wants to hire 100,000 new officers. So they just took Biden's plan and they're like, I don't know, double it? Because they want to be able to say, Democrats are weak on crime. First of all, this guy wrote the crime bill. Not only is he tough on crime, he's too tough on crime. He was locking up nonviolent offenders. But they just took that and doubled it. And like, see, we're like tougher on crime, bro. Oh my God. And now they have the nerve to bring up freedom.
That's built upon freedom. I highlighted the Parents' Bill of Rights. This is a bill that Republicans already introduced and we are going to have ready to pass in the first...
Okay. The same people that are bringing up freedom are the same people who are in favor of a national abortion ban. The people bringing up freedom are the people who are against legalizing marijuana and freeing the nonviolent drug offenders. These are the people bringing up freedom. 157 of these people voted against gay marriage, and they want to talk about freedom. 195 voted against the right to contraception. They want states to be able to ban the pill and condoms, and they're talking about freedom. They have some nerve. The Parents' Bill of Rights. You know what this is all about, right? This is the whole, this is the dog whistle about, they're teaching trans stuff in schools, and we want the parents to be able to step in and say, don't teach the trans stuff. I mean, this is what they're alluding to. By the way, we just covered the other day. The state of Texas banned 801 books for schools. Virtually all of those books had some theme that was an LGBTQ theme or a theme on an interracial relationship. And so the same people that cried, freedom, 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 they're like, no, we just want to be the ones to ban what we don't like. We just don't want the left to be able to ban stuff. We want to ban stuff. Well, how about none of you ban stuff? How about that?
100 days of the next Congress. Day one, we intend to repeal the 87,000 IRS agents, the army of IRS agents that Joe Biden and Democrats have put into place.
Okay, so now Janet Yellen has come out and said, there will be zero increase in the IRS looking into if you make less than $400,000 a year. No more audits under $400,000 a year. No increase in audits under $400,000 a year. So these new IRS agents are specifically to go after corporations and the wealthy. And they rush out to defend the corporations and defend the wealthy. And act like this is an attack on, regular working Americans. That is fundamentally not true. And just understand that over the past 10 or 15 years, the IRS has been obliterated. And as a result of that, what's happened? Well, the IRS said, look, we don't have the resources to go after the billionaires and the corporations and the wealthy because they have a team of lawyers and experts to try to, circumvent us, and we don't have the resources to take them on. So they've been going after the low-hanging fruit, and they say, okay, I guess we'll just audit, people who are middle class and working class. That is directly related to the stripping of funding for the IRS. So now Biden just brings back the IRS, trying to get it back to previous levels so that we can go after the wealthy and they rush out to defend the wealthy. That's really something.
Go after hardworking Americans, mom and pop small businesses,
and
middle class Americans. So Democrats have no plan. They are attacking us because they have created crises across this country. We have a commitment to America to tackle the crises that Democrats have created to make sure that we have a strong economy, a safe country, a future that's built upon freedom, and a government that's accountable.
So one of the
See, all the things she listed there, that's the plan. That's what they released. That's the agenda. All that, the fortune cookie ass platitudes, that's what they're running on. But then again, once they get into specifics, absolutely absurd. Look, if I was the Democrats, first and foremost, yeah, you should run on protecting abortion rights. Roe v. Wade. Absolutely. And I would say, get me this number of votes in the Senate, get me this number of votes in the House, and here's the list of the things we're going to accomplish. And if you can sort of override the effect of Manchin and Sinema, if you can gain enough seats to override the effect of Manchin and Sinema, you actually could get a lot of Build Back Better done. And so if I was Biden, I would run on that. I'd be very specific about give me X number of seats and here's exactly what you're going to get. But What these guys are doing is beyond goofy. Look, hate to say it, but Mitch McConnell was right when he was telling all Republican politicians, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up and then we might do well. The more you talk, the more people will realize they don't agree with us. People do not agree with us. We don't have popular ideas. How is it Mitch knows that, but the rest of these goofballs don't know it? Well, they're going to learn. Look, the only thing that could save them is if inflation and unemployment are in a rough spot by the election. The election is 2 months away, and the Fed is trying to induce a recession, so we very well might be in big trouble by then. But if we're not, then Republicans are going to learn their extremism on social issues has consequences. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.